everyone, welcome back to the channel. So today I'm diving deep into something called Kidz Coloring AI. And honestly, this one caught my attention because I know a lot of you guys are either already publishing on Amazon KDP or you are thinking about getting into the coloring book game on Etsy or other platforms. And look, I'm not gonna sugarcoat this or hype it up unnecessarily. I'm gonna give you the real deal, the good, the bad, and everything in between so you can decide if this is actually worth your hard earned money or if it's just another shiny object that's gonna end up collecting digital dust. By the end of this video, you will know exactly what this tool does, who it's actually for, and whether it's gonna help you or just drain your wallet. So stick around and let's figure this out together. Alright, so let me explain what this thing actually is because the name can be a little misleading. When you first hear Kidz Coloring AI, you might think, oh cool, it's gonna create coloring book pages for me automatically, right? Well, not exactly. Here is what it really does. This is a web-based prompt generator specifically designed for creating kids coloring books. Now, what does that mean in simple terms is that it means this tool doesn't actually create the images or the coloring pages themselves. What it does is write the prompts for you that you will then use in AI image generators like Midjourney, Delhi, Leonardo AI, or any of those other tools you might be using. So think of it this way. Normally, if you are making a coloring book, you would have to sit there and brainstorm ideas, then write very specific detailed prompts for each page, making sure they are kid friendly, making sure the style is consistent, making sure you get both a colored version of the cover and a black and white line art version for the actual coloring pages. And honestly, that process can take hours, sometimes even days, if you are trying to make a full book with like 30 or 40 pages. This tool automates that entire prompt writing process. Here is how it works in practice. You open up the tool, you select the theme. Let's say you want to make a coloring book about animals, or maybe vehicles, or fantasy creatures, or nature scenes. You pick your theme, you tell it how many prompts you want, anywhere from 1 to 50 prompts in a single batch, and then boom, it generates all these prompts for you instantly. And the cool part is, it's not just giving you random prompts, it's giving you two versions of every prompt. One version is optimized for creating colored cover art. You know, those vibrant, eye-catching images you see on the front of coloring books. And the other version is optimized for creating black and white line drawings with clear outlines that kids can actually color in. So you are getting everything you need to create a complete coloring book package, at least on the prompt side of things. Now, let's talk about who should actually be considering this tool because this is really important. This is not for everybody. If you are a complete beginner who has never published anything, who doesn't know what KDP is, who has never used Midjourney or any AI image generator, then honestly, this tool by itself is not gonna help you much. I will explain why in a minute, but here is who this is actually perfect for. Number 1. If you are already publishing coloring books on Amazon KDP or selling digital downloads on Etsy, and you are spending a ridiculous amount of time every single day or every week trying to come up with new ideas and writing prompts, this could genuinely save you hours of work. Number 2, if you understand how AI image generators work, if you already have a subscription to Midjourney or Daily or Leonardo and you know how to take a prompt and turn it into an actual usable image, then this is gonna fit right into your workflow. Number 3, if you are someone who wants to scale up your coloring book business and publish multiple books quickly without burning out on the creative side, then yeah, this makes sense. But here's the thing you absolutely need to know upfront. This tool requires you to have your own API key from Google Gemini. That's the AI that powers this prompt generator behind the scenes. Now, an API key sounds technical, but it's basically just a code that lets this tool talk to Google's AI. The problem is that's an additional cost. Google Gemini does have a free tier that gives you some free credits every month, but if you are generating a lot of prompts, you might end up paying a few bucks here and there depending on how much you use it. So just keep that in mind. It's not a huge cost, but it's not included in the $17 price tag either. Alright, now let me walk you through what you are actually getting when you buy this thing. And I'm gonna explain each feature in detail so you can really understand what's useful and what's just marketing fluff. First up, bulk prompt generation. This is honestly the main selling point of the entire tool. Instead of generating one prompt at a time, which is what you would normally do if you were doing this manually. You can generate up to 50 prompts in one click. Now think about that for a second. If you are making a coloring book with 30 pages, you just generated more prompts than you even need in literally seconds. And these aren't just random garbage prompts either. They are specifically structured to work well with AI image generators. They include details about the subject, the style, the composition, everything that makes a good AI prompt. So if you have ever struggled with writer's block or just run out of creative ideas, this feature alone could be a game changer. Next, theme selection. This is a pretty straightforward but actually more useful than it sounds. You get to choose from a bunch of different categories. Things like animals, vehicles, fantasy worlds, nature scenes, and depending on whether you unlock the premium features, you get even more specific options like dinosaurs, space themes, superheroes, holidays, all that good stuff. Why does this matter? Because consistency is huge when you are making a coloring book. Parents and kids want themed books, right? They want a book about ocean animals or a book about construction vehicles, not just a random mismatch of stuff. So, being able to pick a specific theme and generate all your prompts within that theme keeps everything cohesive and professional looking. That you have got CSV export. Now, I know some of you might be thinking, what the heck is a CSV and why do I care? Here is why this is actually brilliant. A CSV file is just a spreadsheet file that you can open in Excel or Google Sheets. When you generate your prompts, this tool puts them all into a nice, organized file that you can download. Each prompt is in its own row, clearly labeled, easy to copy and paste. This makes your workflow so much smoother because you can organize everything. You can keep track of which prompts you have already used, which ones you still need to generate images for, and all that project management stuff that usually gets messy. Trust me, if you are doing this at scale, having everything in a spreadsheet is gonna save you sanity. Now, here is the feature that I think is most important but also most misunderstood: dual output prompts. Every single prompt you generate comes in two versions. Version 1 is for colored cover art. This prompt is optimized to create a vibrant, fully colored image that looks appealing on a book cover or as a reference image. Version 2 is for black and white line art. This prompt is specifically engineered to create those clean, bold outlines with no shading, no color, just pure line drawings that are perfect for kids to color in. And here is why this matters so much. When you are using AI image generators, you can't just take a colored image and expect to easily convert it into a coloring page. The lines won't be clean. There will be shading and gradients. It will look messy. You need two completely different prompts with different instructions to get both types of images done right. This tool handles that for you automatically, which honestly saves you a ton of trial and error. And finally, there is the premium unlock key. The basic version of this tool gives you solid functionality, but if you want more control, you can pay extra to unlock premium features. Is this necessary? Not really. The basic version will work fine for most people, but if you are serious about this and you want the extra level of customization, it's there. Okay, let's talk money, because this is where things get a little typical internet marketing is, and I want to be straight with you about what you are seeing. On the sales page, they are claiming the tool normally costs $97. It's been marked down to $47. But right now, today you can get it for $17. And there is also a coupon code that will knock off another $2. So you are looking at $15 if you use that code. Now, is it really worth $97? In my opinion, no. That's inflated pricing to make the $17 seem like an insane deal. Is it worth $17? Yeah, I actually think so, but with some caveats I will get to in a minute. Now, they do offer a 30-day money-back guarantee, which is good. That means you can buy it, test it out for a month, and if it's not doing what you need to do, you can get your money back. That takes some of the risk out of it, but here's the reality check. That $17 is just for the basic version. If you want those premium features I mentioned earlier, that's gonna cost you extra. They don't really spell out exactly how much the premium unlock cost on the sales page, which is a little annoying, but just be aware it's an upsell. So your total cost could end up being $30, $40, maybe $50 if you go for all the extras. Still not terrible, but it's not just $17 and you are done. Alright, let me give you my honest thoughts on the good stuff. because there are genuinely some smart things about this tool that I think are worth highlighting. First off, the time saving factor is real. If you have ever tried to write 30 or 40 AI prompts for a coloring book, you know how mentally draining that is. You are trying to be creative, you are trying to make sure each prompt is different enough but still fits the thing. You are worried about whether the AI is gonna interrupt your prompt correctly. It's exhausting. This tool takes that entire mental load off your plate. You click a button, you get 50 prompts. Done. That alone is worth something, especially if your time is valuable. Second, I really like that you get both the colored and line art versions automatically. This shows that whoever built this tool actually understands the coloring book creation process. A lot of tools out there are made by people who have never actually published a coloring book, so they don't get the nuances. But this tool clearly gets it. You need two different types of images for a complete book, and it handles that automatically without you having to think about it. Third, the CSV export is just smart workflow design. It's a small feature, but it makes the whole process feel more professional and organized. You are not fumbling around trying to remember prompts or copy pasting from random text files. Everything is in one place, ready to use. That kind of attention to workflow matters when you are trying to run this like an actual business. Fourth, the themes are actually pretty good. They are kid appropriate, they are varied enough to give you options, and they align with what actually sells on KDP and Etsy. Animals, vehicles, fantasy, nature, these are proven niches. You are not getting worried of obscure themes that nobody wants. So, from a market research standpoint, they did their homework. And finally, the 30-day refund policy gives you a safety net. It's not a subscription where you are locked in. It's a one-time purchase. You test it out, and if it sucks, you get your money back. That's fair, and it lowers the risk significantly. Now, let's talk about the downsides and the things they don't really emphasize on the sales page, because this is where you need to pay attention. First, and most importantly, you absolutely need your own Gemini API key to make this work. This tool doesn't function without it. Now, setting up an API key isn't rocket science, but it is a technical step that some people might find confusing if they have never done it before. You have to go to Google's AI platform, create an account, generate an API key, and paste it into this tool. It's doable, but it's not as simple as just logging with your email and starting. And like I mentioned earlier, depending on how much you use it, you might incur some cost on the Google side. Second, you still need to pay for an AI image generator. This tool does not create images. I can't stress this enough because I think some people might buy this thinking they are gonna get actual coloring book pages out of it. You don't. You get prompts. You then have to take those prompts, go to Midjourney or Daily or Leonardo Air or whatever tool you are using, paste the prompt in, generate the image, download it, and repeat that process for every single page. So, if you don't already have a Midjourney subscription or daily credits or access to another AI generator, you are gonna need to budget for that. We're talking another $10 to $30 a month depending on which service you use. Third, this tool doesn't do any of the actual book formatting or publishing work. Once you have generated your images, you still need to format them into a book, create a proper cover, add page numbers if necessary, convert everything to the right file format for KDP or Etsy, write a compelling description, choose your keywords, all that backend stuff. This tool is just handling the prompt generation part. It's one piece of the puzzle, not the complete solution. Fourth, the premium features being an extra cost is a bit annoying. I get why they do it from a business standpoint, but it does feel like you are not getting the full tool at that $17 price point. If you want the difficulty controls, the line style options, the specific scene selections, you are gonna have to pay more. So just factor that into your decision. And fifth, and this is more of a market reality than a criticism of the tool itself, but the coloring book market is getting really crowded. A few years ago, you could throw together a basic coloring book and make decent money. Now, there are thousands of people doing the exact same thing. Competition is violent. So, even with this tool making your workflows faster, you still need to stand out. You still need good designs, smart marketing, proper keyword research, appealing keywords. The tool helps you move faster, but it doesn't guarantee sales. Okay, here is where we get to the big question. Should you buy this or not? Let me give you my real, unfiltered take on this. And I'm gonna break it down based on different situations because the answer isn't the same for everyone. If you already actively publishing coloring books and you are making some sales, even if it's just a few books a month, and you are spending hours every week coming up with ideas and writing prompts, then yes, I think this is worth the $17. It's gonna speed up your workflow, reduce your creative burnout, and let you publish more books in less time. At that price point with a money back guarantee, it's a pretty low risk investment that could genuinely improve your productivity. If you are brand new to this whole thing and you have never published a coloring book before, then I would say pump the brakes a little bit. This tool is not gonna teach you how to publish on KDP. It's not gonna teach you how to use Midjourney. It's not gonna explain how to do keyword research or design book covers. You need to learn those fundamentals first. So maybe start with some free tutorials, maybe buy one book or course that walks you through the entire process from start to finish. And once you actually understand the workflow and you have published your first book or two, then come back and grab this tool to speed things up. If you are somewhere in the middle, maybe you have dabbled in AI art, you understand the basics of KDP, but you haven't really committed to it yet, then this could be a good push to actually take this seriously. The tool removes one of the biggest barriers, which is the time and mental energy required to come up with ideas. So if lack of ideas has been holding you back, this might be the solution. Now, is this gonna make you rich? Absolutely not. Let's be realistic here. This is a tool, not a business in a box. You still have to do the work, you still have to generate the images, format the books, upload them, market them, test different niches, figure out what sells. This tool makes one part of that process faster, but it doesn't eliminate all the other steps. So if you are expecting to buy this, click a few buttons and start making thousands of dollars a month, that's not gonna happen. But if you are willing to put in the work and you see this as a productivity booster rather than a magic money making machine, then yeah, it's a solid tool. One more thing to consider, think about your current bottleneck. If your bottleneck is coming up with prompts and ideas, then this solves that problem. But if your bottleneck is actually getting the images or formatting the books or getting traffic to your listings, then this tool doesn't really help you with those things. So be honest with yourself about where you are actually getting stuck in the process. So there you have it. That's my complete, honest, no BS review of Kidz Coloring AI. I hope this video helped you understand what this tool actually does, who it's for, and whether it makes sense for your situation. Look, I'm not gonna sit here and tell you this is the best thing since sliced bread. But I'm also not gonna trust it just to sound edgy. It's a tool, it has its place. If it fits your needs, great. If it doesn't, no worries. Keep looking for something that does. Now, if you are interested in checking out Kidz Coloring AI for yourself, I have dropped the link down in the description below. Just remember everything I talked about in this video. The pros, the cons, what you will actually need to make it work. Go in with realistic expectations. And don't forget about the 30-day money back guarantee. If you want to test it out risk-free. And hey, if you do end up grabbing it, come back and let me know how it worked for you. If you found this review helpful, do me a favor and smash that like button. It really helps the channel out and lets me know you want more honest, detailed reviews like this. And hey, if you have actually used Kidz Coloring AI yourself or you have experience with other coloring book tools, drop a comment down below and share your thoughts. I love hearing from you guys and it helps other people who are trying to make the same decision. If you are new here, definitely hit that subscribe button because I'm constantly testing out new AI tools, new publishing methods, and I share everything I learn, the good and the bad. No hype, no fluff, just real information you actually use. Alright, that's all I have got for today. Thanks so much for watching. I will see you in the next video. And until then, keep creating, keep testing, and keep pushing forward. See you soon.